thanks guys, thanks for being here. I think last time we sat here it was after a tough tour to Sri Lanka, and this was an equally tough tour, but fortunately results went a lot better this time. And I suppose we'll start on the test side. South Africa got a great record in test cricket, and having drawn the series, we always try and win series, but I suppose a 1-all draw, considering we haven't played cricket for 7 or 8 months, was a fair result. I thought the side showed great character in coming back after the first test loss. And Imran Tahir and Graham Smith in particular in that test match in Dubai were outstanding in putting in match-winning performances along with AB de Villiers. So very happy with the character shown there, but we know that we need to think about how we go about things before test series start again when we have long breaks like that. Not easier said than done because of Champions League commitments and all those type of stuff, but something needs to give at some stage. Regarding the one-day side, after 2 keenly contested and tough first encounters, which was 1-all, I thought the players must take a lot of credit for the way they lifted their performances for the last 3. I thought we were outstanding in every department. I thought the captaincy was really good. I thought AB made big strides this tour in saying that it's always nice when your team's winning and the players are playing well. But really majorly impressed by the character and the team's desire to improve and acknowledge that they probably haven't been good enough in this format. So the results came, but I was more excited by what I was seeing behind the scenes, the players' desire, the attitude, the want to become better, the non-acceptance of our performance over the last period of time in one-day cricket. And fortunately, there were some magnificent individual performances. I mean, I think AB's got to 6,000 one-day runs, the second quickest behind Viv Richards, which is no mean feat. Quinton de Kock came on really well in the one-day series. Our bowlers were outstanding. So a lot of positives to take from that particular series. And then just finally going into T20 series, which is going to be, which I've always said is an important aspect for us with the World Cup around the corner. I think we're really starting to get something going there. There's a good understanding of each player's roles. There's some good execution taking place. There's an appreciation of what needs to be done in T20 cricket to be successful. So we've had some good results in Sri Lanka and another good result here, having beaten New Zealand in South Africa. So the 3 big scalps that we can feel very proud of claiming. But we know that there's still a lot of work to do in both formats, the one-days and the T20s. We've made some baby steps this tour, and hopefully we continually build on that. Look, everybody wants to be number 1 in everything, but it's a tough thing, and I think the test side success at number 1 has maybe caused the one-day side to get less love and less attention and affection, I suppose, and maybe that's resulted in our one-day performances dropping, and we're trying to rectify that. Look, we know the South African public and the South African media demand that South Africa is always at the top echelon of all formats of the game, and that's where we strive to be. I can promise you that is an ambition, to be at the top of every aspect, but it's not that easy. But we continue to strive to do that. No, look, I think like most sports, confidence is a massively important thing. Pakistan have got some match winners in their side. Misbah Ulhaq's a world-class player. Yunus Khan's back in their side. So you know, it's you can never take things for granted in international cricket because there's always a player or an opportunity for a player to make a major play. And we know Pakistan will be hurting after this last series, and we're very keen to do that. So, look, we can't take it for granted. We're still a work in progress with the one-day unit, in our T20 unit. So there's a lot of room for improvement. Even although we won, there's still room for improvement in every department, and hoping we can continually improve in this series coming forward. Yeah, look, we're tired of facing him and Ajmal at the moment. They're 2 world-class bowlers, and both have been a thorn in our side for a period of time now. Irfan he doesn't give you much to hit. He's always at you. He gets such a lot of bounce. He bowls really quickly with a new ball. So we're not too displeased that he's not coming to South Africa, to be honest with you. No, very good. Those 2 in particular, but I thought there weren't 1 or 2. There was a whole host of players that put in big performance. I think Faf's regaining some of his confidence and some of his form that he's maybe lost a little bit over a period of time. AB's always been in great nick. Having Hashim back in the side is massively important for the team's morale and the calmness he brings to the team. Ryan McLaren, I think, was the one-day player of the series. So there's there's not just one or two guys that we can say that, geez, they had great tours. I think the whole group of players as a whole have all stepped up their performances and put in big performances. Yeah, look, Quinton is. I mean, everybody knows he's a seriously talented player. Um, he's excuse me. He's obviously had issues in Sri Lanka against the spinners where he was maybe getting his right leg a little bit too far across the crease and thereby not being allowed to hit the ball straight enough. And he's worked on a few technical adjustments, and full credit to him. I think he had a decent Champions Trophy where maybe Champions League where he maybe got a little bit of confidence. He got 100 in one of the games there. And look, I've been very impressed by his work ethic. I know Quinton, as some people might perceive him as a young, talented, wild young thing type of thing, but he's really come there with a good work ethic and a good head on his shoulders, and I've been really impressed by what I've seen in terms of his desire to try and get better all the time. So I think that's probably the main thing. No, it's not just Graham knows what he does; they also know what they're doing. So I mean, they're experienced cricketers. Avi's now captain, I think 35 or 38 one-day internationals, and he'll continually get better. End of the day, your captain is only going to be as good as your players, I suppose. If you make the right decision to make a bowling change, but the bowling change bowls badly, it often reflects in the captain, although the bowler's bowling badly. So I think there's been a lot of criticism on him very unfairly. I mean, he's been an absolute stalwart for South Africa for a long time now, and he's just going to get better as far as I'm concerned, and hopefully what we saw this last tour is a start of good things to come. No, very much so. I've always termed him as an X-factor player. From my dealings with him at the Warriors, I always felt that if something needed to happen in the game, I'd always encourage the captain to give him the ball or get him involved in the game with the bat or somehow, because things seem to happen when he's involved in the game, and it's a great asset to have for a young cricketer, and he's got a good mature head on his shoulders. He's fit as he's ever been. He's bowling really well, and he impacts games, and that's the main thing. He's not just a guy who chips in now and then, but when he makes a play, he makes a big play. He gets 4 for nothing, or he gets 60 under pressure, and that's always exciting to see. I think that's happened. I think he was picked when he was very young, and then had a great start, and then phased away a little bit, and then had a good season for the Warriors last year. I think the season of 4-day cricket at the Warriors franchise last season has done him wonders. He's come back a lot more mature. He's a lot stronger, a lot fitter, and a lot more sensible about his cricket. Yeah, that's as far as my discussions with Jacques have gone. He's available to play the one-day series against Pakistan. I need to obviously sit with the selectors over the next day or two to finalise that squad. So until then, I can't comment to say if Jacques Ellis is in the squad or not, but he's definitely available to play. Yeah, look, I think in the T20 environment, I still think some of our thought processes with the ball were at times maybe not exactly spot on last night in both games, although the result might show otherwise. There were times where we bowled balls to certain fields that I thought shouldn't have been bowled, if that makes sense. So that's one aspect. Look, Hashim's getting going just started his T20 career again, so he's still a little bit of a work in progress, but he brings a lot of calmness to the side. So there's some aspects that he still needs to work on in that particular department. And then just really getting a structured pattern of play in the T20. We don't play that many games, but just to consolidate a really structured pattern of play that is synonymous with the way South African cricketers want to play. So nailing down that properly, we're getting there, but just to make sure that it becomes ingrained in each and every one of us, and each and every one of us knows exactly how we want to go about it. He's definitely going to have a break. I mean, he's been playing cricket non-stop now since he's 9 years old, I think. He's just come back from the Champions Trophy. He's kept wicket, he's captain, he's batted at 4, he's got 160 in a test match. He's been keeping in both tests. He's got a hell of a lot on his plate. He's a best man at a wedding on Saturday, so he's got a busy schedule. So, so he's definitely going to have 1 or 2 of the T20s off in the not too distant future. I can definitely see that happening, but unfortunately, he can't be given time off in the one days. I mean, AB, Faf, myself, growing up, Sachin Tendulkar was everything in cricket. I mean, I remember watching South Africa play their first game when Clive Rice was walking around the field and with petals around his neck and playing against Sachin Tendulkar, and it was unbelievable seeing a young player like that being so good. So look, he's probably one of the greatest that has ever played the game, and has been a great ambassador for the sport, and has really carried himself in an immensely dignified way, and it's going to be very hard to place an icon cricketer like that. And congratulations to him on what's been an outstanding career.